Is there like latent fear in interacting with her that they say something wrong, like call her Meghan Markle instead of, it's Sussex now?
King Charles has officially ordered an investigation into Meghan.
Meghan Markle and her brand as ever. She's of course promoting it non-stop on her social media feeds, but there are reports that there are questions, I should say,
which the palace sees as a planned blackmail and pressure campaign.
My name is Megan Sussex now. Call me Meghan Markle one more time, Mindy Kaling.
Moving from family drama to a security review, the Crown is now tracking Thomas Markle's media activity and money records.
And a guy named Jeff Rayner, who spoke to me and said, "I can change your image," he said,
to uncover possible damage to the royal family's reputation. So, what does this mean for their future with the monarchy?
She's finished.
Right.
The Netflix series is over. There's no great podcast.
Is it a necessary step by King Charles, or will it only make things worse? Join us as we uncover King Charles's sudden decision to investigate Meghan. King Charles' shocking decision to investigate Meghan. King Charles has now officially announced that there will be an investigation into Meghan Markle, a decision many people are calling one of the most dramatic moments in modern royal history. After years of interviews, public disagreements, and headline-making accusations, the royal family could no longer pretend that everything was fine. The tension had grown too large, too public, and too damaging to ignore. For many royal watchers, this marks a completely new chapter in the story of the British monarchy. It is being described as the first time in royal history that a reigning monarch has formally launched an investigation into members of his own family. That alone shows how serious the situation has become. This is not just about family disagreements behind closed doors anymore. It is about reputation, legacy, and the survival of an institution that has existed for centuries. By stepping in directly, King Charles is sending a clear and powerful message. The image, unity, and stability of the monarchy must be protected at all costs. Meghan Markle entered the royal family when she married Prince Harry in 2018. Before that, she already had her own successful acting career and a strong public profile. From the moment she became a royal, she attracted enormous global media attention. At first there was excitement and curiosity, but very quickly cracks began to show. Behind the scenes, her relationships with certain members of the family reportedly became strained. Over time, private tensions began to spill into the public sphere through interviews, documentaries, and controversial statements. The situation escalated when Meghan spoke openly about her experiences inside the royal household, including claims of racism and unfair treatment. In 2020, Meghan and Harry stepped down from their official royal duties. That decision shocked the world. Instead of stepping quietly into private life, they continued to speak publicly about their struggles. Through interviews and media projects, they raised serious questions about how the monarchy operates, including issues related to family dynamics, inheritance, and financial arrangements. With all of this unfolding, King Charles's decision to intervene does not come as a surprise. Now that he is on the throne, the responsibility rests fully on his shoulders. The longer the conflict continues without a clear response, the more unstable the situation could become. And instability is something the monarchy can hardly afford. For King Charles, this is not just about personal feelings. It is about leadership. The ongoing controversy affects not only his own reputation, but also the credibility of the entire royal institution. Public outrage has grown on different sides. Some support Meghan, while others strongly defend the monarchy. If the palace remains silent for too long, it risks appearing weak or divided. The British royal family is built on tradition, discipline, and a carefully maintained public image. When internal disputes are exposed to the world, that image suffers. As king, Charles cannot allow repeated scandals to overshadow the institution he inherited. He must show strength, control, and fairness. The official investigation, therefore, serves multiple purposes. On one hand, it is a strategic move to protect the monarchy's reputation. On the other, it reinforces King Charles's authority, showing that he is willing and able to confront complicated and uncomfortable issues, even when they involve his own son. However, this decision may also create new problems. While the investigation could clarify certain matters, it might also deepen the public divide. Some may see it as a fair and necessary step toward truth. Others may view it as an attempt to silence or punish Meghan. At its heart, this is more than a simple inquiry. It represents a critical turning point in the relationship between the monarchy and two of its most high-profile former members. It raises difficult questions about loyalty, responsibility, freedom of speech, and tradition. Whether this investigation brings resolution or fuels further controversy remains to be seen. What is certain, however, is that the royal family has entered a new and uncertain phase, one that could shape its future for many years to come. Is this investigation truly meant to uncover the truth and clear up the confusion? Or is it mainly a move to manage family tensions behind closed doors? Let's find out. The motive behind the investigation. Every choice made by the royal family carries serious weight. Nothing is simple, and nothing is done without consequences. When a king acts, the effects are not limited to private family conversations. They ripple across the entire nation and even beyond. As he works to protect the monarchy, he knows that every step he takes could either strengthen the institution or strain his own family relationships. In trying to preserve stability, the king faces a delicate balancing act. On one hand, he must protect the image and structure of the monarchy. On the other, he must deal with family members who no longer carry out official royal duties. The investigation he has opened is not just about settling disagreements. It is also a test of leadership. It shows whether he can manage private family tensions while the entire world watches. With intense media pressure and constant public scrutiny, even small internal problems can quickly grow into international headlines. Some people see the king's decision to launch this investigation as an effort to reassert his authority. After years of controversy, it may be his way of reminding both the public and his family that the crown still carries power and responsibility. Meanwhile, the relationship between Meghan and the royal family has remained tense and complicated ever since they stepped down from their senior royal roles. Their departure was not quiet or smooth. Instead, it marked the beginning of a new chapter filled with public interviews, documentaries, and statements that openly criticized the institution they once represented. The turning point for many came in 2021, during their highly publicized interview with. In that interview, Meghan spoke candidly about her personal struggles while living as a royal. She described feeling isolated and unsupported. Most shockingly, she revealed that there had been conversations within the family about the possible skin color of her son, Archie, before he was born. That claim sent shockwaves around the world. Accusations of racism within one of the most famous royal families on Earth were bound to ignite outrage and intense debate. Although no concrete evidence was publicly presented to support these claims, the damage to the monarchy's image was significant. The allegations touched on sensitive issues of race, equality, and tradition, topics that resonate deeply in modern society. For many observers, the accusations raised serious questions about whether the royal family truly reflects the inclusive values it publicly supports. The controversy did not end there. Meghan also made comments that led some members of the public to question the transparency of the royal bloodline, particularly regarding their children. While no evidence supported any serious claims, simply raising such topics in public was enough to create confusion and speculation. In an institution built on tradition, lineage, and legitimacy, even the smallest doubt can have lasting consequences. At the same time, critics began asking whether the couple was using their royal titles and global fame to build independent careers. After stepping back from royal duties, they signed lucrative media contracts and launched personal and charitable projects. Supporters argue that they were simply seeking financial independence and the freedom to control their own lives. Critics, however, question whether these deals rely heavily on their royal connection. The lack of detailed public information about their finances has only fueled speculation. Some wonder where the money comes from, how it is managed, and whether these commercial partnerships could indirectly affect the reputation of the monarchy itself. The situation has created a deep divide. Within the royal family, tensions appear unresolved. Publicly, opinion remains sharply split. Some people sympathize with Meghan's desire for independence and openness. Others believe their repeated public criticisms have weakened the monarchy during a sensitive period of transition. But is this the best way for King Charles to resolve the royal conflict? Let's take a closer look. King Charles's strategic response to royal scandals. The investigation ordered by King Charles is far from a simple or routine matter. It is not just a reaction to the personal tensions between Meghan and other members of the royal family. It is also a strategic move to protect the stability, integrity, and public image of the monarchy. Unlike an ordinary family, the royal family is a national institution, a living symbol of centuries-old traditions, national unity, and the values that define the United Kingdom. Allowing disputes to spill into the public eye would do far more than damage family bonds. It could undermine the reputation of an entire nation. As head of the royal family, King Charles cannot overlook the disruptions caused by Meghan. Their statements and actions over the years have sparked public debate, media frenzy, and controversy, not only within the palace walls but also across the world. The decision to formally launch an investigation into their conduct is therefore a bold and deliberate effort to safeguard the honor, credibility, and cohesion of the monarchy. This is not a decision made lightly. It risks creating tension among family members, particularly between King Charles and Harry, whom he has long regarded with affection. Yet, in a climate where the royal family faces relentless scrutiny from both the media and the public, taking decisive action is essential. By making the investigation official, King Charles sends a clear message. The unity and reputation of the royal family must be defended at all costs. The investigation aims to address multiple layers of concern. It is intended not only to examine the specific allegations made by Meghan, ranging from claims of racism to questions about royal finances and lineage, but also to verify the truth of the information they have made public. By doing so, the monarchy hopes to separate fact from fiction while restoring control over narratives that have circulated unchecked in society. The very involvement of the monarch could be interpreted as an act of bias, or even a move to strengthen personal authority within the family. If handled poorly, the investigation could widen existing rifts instead of resolving them. Ultimately, this step reflects the deep sense of duty King Charles feels, not only to his family, but also to the generations that came before him and to the nation itself. The royal family is not an ordinary household. It represents a legacy stretching back centuries. Every action taken within it resonates far beyond palace walls. By initiating this investigation, King Charles is attempting to clarify past controversies, address current allegations, and potentially create clearer guidelines for the future conduct of the royal family. The process may uncover old wounds, hidden tensions, or unresolved conflicts. But perhaps the most critical factor is how it is conducted, with fairness, transparency, and care, or with internal politics and public pressure influencing the outcome. Done correctly, the investigation could help heal the monarchy, restore trust, and strengthen its traditions. Done poorly, it risks deepening divides and creating new fractures within the very family it is meant to protect. Can King Charles oversee the investigation with fairness and impartiality, ensuring that everyone has a genuine chance to be heard and treated justly? Let's take a closer look. Protecting image of the throne. Maintaining the honor and strong image of the royal family is not a simple task, and Charles III understands this very well. Protecting the family's name while carefully managing private conflicts is something he must handle with great care. Every step he takes carries weight, not only for his family, but also for the nation that sees the monarchy as a symbol of tradition and stability. This investigation is not just about settling disagreements. When the news broke that King Charles had officially launched an investigation into Meghan Markle, the world immediately turned its attention to the couple's reaction. Many people expected a calm and quiet response. Instead, what followed was strong, open disagreement. Meghan, who has remained at the center of global media attention for years, once again found themselves dominating headlines. But this time, it was because they openly challenged the decision. Meghan did not stay silent. She strongly criticized the royal family and spoke publicly about what she believes is unfair treatment toward her and Harry. In a recent interview, she explained that she felt deeply hurt. According to her, the family failed to defend them from harsh public accusations and constant criticism. She described the investigation as a direct attack on their dignity and on their right to make personal choices about their own lives. Her words were emotional and direct, and they quickly increased the tension within the family. At the same time, they forced the public to question her attitude toward the institution she once represented. Although Harry did not personally appear in the latest interviews, his position seemed clear. Through Meghan's statements, it was obvious that he disagreed with the investigation as well. Together, they continue to highlight what they describe as long-standing problems within the royal household. However, instead of recognizing that the investigation may be an attempt to protect the family's public image, they have chosen to criticize it openly. This reaction has made the situation even more complicated. For many observers, the investigation is a chance to bring clarity, settle disputes, and repair damage. But Meghan's strong resistance has left people divided. Some sympathize with them. Others feel disappointed by what they see as constant public confrontation. The key question now is whether their continued opposition will bring positive change or simply deepen the divide. Even though Meghan remains an influential public figure, rebuilding trust with the royal family and regaining full public support may not be easy. Public acceptance often depends not only on speaking out, but also on showing reflection and growth. If they continue to resist without examining their own actions and their consequences, the gap between them and the family may only grow wider. Sympathy from the public can quickly fade when people feel that responsibility is being avoided. Their response has revealed a deeper reality, a serious clash between two perspectives. On one side stands an institution focused on duty, stability, and long-term reputation. On the other side are individuals who prioritize personal freedom and independence. The conflict is not simply personal. It reflects a struggle between tradition and modern self-expression. Without careful balance, that divide may become even harder to bridge. For King Charles, launching this investigation is more than a routine administrative step. It is a bold and strategic decision. Public reaction has been mixed. Some believe he is being too strict and forceful. Others argue that such action is necessary to protect an institution that has faced serious criticism in recent years. Allegations of racism, questions about royal lineage, and concerns about financial matters have all placed the monarchy under intense scrutiny. As the head of the royal family, King Charles knows he cannot ignore these issues. The monarchy's reputation, built over centuries, cannot afford further damage. Whether this investigation will calm the storm or create new waves of controversy remains uncertain. But one thing is clear: the outcome will shape not only the future of Meghan and Harry, but also the lasting image of the royal family itself. Is King Charles's decision overly harsh, or is it genuinely needed to protect the honor and stability of the royal family and the monarchy? Let's take a closer look. The debate over Charles' bold move. Some people believe that they may be acting too strictly in this situation. They argue that by opening an official investigation, he could be making an already tense situation even worse. The royal family has, for generations, worked hard to present a calm, united, and almost flawless public image. Bringing a formal investigation into public view risks shining a bright spotlight on private family problems. Instead of calming things down, it could deepen the existing rifts. It may increase the pressure not only on but also on other family members who may already be struggling to find a peaceful solution. At the same time, even if this investigation could slightly damage the royal family's image in the short term, King Charles cannot simply ignore what has happened. The controversies surrounding Meghan and Harry are not small personal disagreements. They have grown into public scandals that affect how people see the entire monarchy. These issues do not just touch two individuals. They shake the foundation of the institution itself. For the king, staying silent might appear weak or irresponsible. Opening an investigation is undoubtedly a bold and serious step. But the question remains, is it the only realistic way to deal with a problem that has been building for years and has now reached a critical point? King Charles carries a heavy responsibility. He is not only a father and family member, he is also the guardian of a centuries-old institution. Protecting his loved ones must be balanced with protecting the image, stability, and dignity of the monarchy. In a tradition as long and historic as that of the British royal family, firm and clear decisions are sometimes necessary. Allowing scandals and conflicts to continue quietly behind closed doors is no longer an option. The royal family's reputation is extremely valuable. If public trust weakens, the long-term consequences could be serious. A loss of public support could affect national unity, and damaged credibility could influence how other countries view the United Kingdom. As head of the monarchy, King Charles may feel that gentle or informal measures are no longer enough. From his perspective, the scandals linked to Meghan and Harry are not just private family matters, they are institutional challenges. By launching an official investigation, he may hope to find a complete and lasting solution. At the same time, he may want to send a strong message. Actions that harm the unity and reputation of the royal family will not be accepted. However, a major question still hangs in the air. Will this investigation truly help restore the royal family's positive public image? Or will it deepen the emotional divides within the family and create even more conflict? This is the difficult reality King Charles and the other members must face. In a family that is both large and highly visible, every decision has wide-reaching effects. What happens inside palace walls can quickly ripple outward, influencing public opinion, national identity, and even international relationships. Protecting the monarchy's image is essential, but it should not mean completely sacrificing personal relationships. Family bonds are fragile, especially when mixed with power, tradition, and public attention. There is always a risk that strong institutional action could leave lasting emotional scars. From Meghan and Harry's point of view, they may feel targeted by a system they no longer wish to serve. They might see the investigation as an attack from a powerful structure they have chosen to step away from. Yet their continued resistance and unwillingness to openly reflect on their own actions may be making the situation even more complicated. By continuing the conflict publicly, while also seeking personal independence, they may unintentionally be increasing the tension rather than easing it. Fighting from a distance does not offer practical solutions. Instead, it can widen the gap and make reconciliation more difficult. Will this investigation affect Harry and Meghan's future in the royal family? Let's find out. Meghan's future in the monarchy. The future of Harry and Meghan Markle in the British royal family is a subject that continues to attract enormous public interest. It is not just gossip or entertainment news. It is a serious matter that raises deeper questions about how individuals relate to powerful institutions and how personal freedom can sometimes clash with long-standing traditions. Even though they officially left their working royal roles, Tension between the couple and the royal household did not simply disappear. In fact, disagreements and misunderstandings seem to have continued behind the scenes. Over time, Meghan and Harry openly shared their experiences and frustrations. They publicly criticized certain members of the royal family and spoke about painful issues, including claims involving race, questions about lineage, and concerns about financial arrangements. These statements shocked many people around the world. For some, the couple appeared brave and honest. For others, their words felt like a betrayal of a family that has always valued privacy and unity. Their public comments did not only create division within the family itself, they also strongly influenced how the public sees them. Supporters argued that they had the right to tell their story. Critics argued that such personal matters should have remained private. As opinions became divided, the image of both the couple and the royal institution changed. What once appeared to be a united and carefully managed family began to look more fragile and divided. The investigation initiated by Charles III has further highlighted the difference between those who remain working members of the monarchy and those who have stepped away. This investigation is not simply about personal disagreements. It represents an effort to define boundaries. It sends a message that leaving royal duties does not automatically remove the consequences of public statements or actions connected to the institution. In many ways, it draws a clear line between private life and royal responsibility. While Meghan and Harry gave up their royal duties, they cannot completely erase their history. Harry was born into the monarchy. It is part of his identity. Meghan became part of that world through marriage. Even though they have chosen a different path, the connection to the royal family remains deeply woven into their lives. Looking toward the future, some people still hold hope for reconciliation. History has shown that family conflicts can sometimes heal with time. However, this situation is far from simple. The ongoing investigation adds pressure and tension. At the same time, Meghan and Harry have continued to speak openly about their views. Their willingness to publicly challenge the institution makes reconciliation more difficult. For any meaningful reconciliation to happen, both sides would need to show a willingness to change. Meghan and Harry would have to address long-standing concerns. This would not only involve expressing regret for any hurt caused, but also recognizing how their words and actions affected the wider family. Communication would need to improve. Trust, once broken, would need to be slowly rebuilt. These changes would require patience and humility. At the same time, the royal family would also need to reflect on its own actions and decisions. True reconciliation cannot happen if only one side makes adjustments. However, the monarchy is built on centuries of tradition, strict rules, and established expectations. Anyone wishing to return to a formal role within it must accept those rules. Meghan and Harry might need to let go of some personal demands or expectations if they truly wish to rejoin the institution in an official capacity. The royal family operates according to principles that have existed for hundreds of years, and it does not easily bend to individual preferences. Whether the royal family is willing to welcome them back is another complicated issue. The public accusations and criticisms have caused embarrassment and tension. Rebuilding trust would not happen quickly. The monarchy values stability and careful decision-making. Accepting the return of members who have publicly criticized it would require careful thought and time. It is not something that could happen overnight. Meanwhile, Meghan and Harry have built independent lives outside the royal structure. They have signed major business deals, worked with large companies, and launched charitable and media projects. They have created a brand that exists beyond palace walls. Financially and professionally, they have achieved significant success. This independence may make a return to royal duties less necessary from their point of view. Much of the world first came to know Meghan and Harry because of their place within the royal family. Their titles, history, and background are part of what draws attention to their projects. While they have worked to establish separate identities, their connection to the monarchy continues to shape public perception. This situation may create an inner conflict. On one hand, they have sought freedom and independence. On the other hand, there may still be a desire for acceptance and recognition from the family and institution they left behind. Human relationships are rarely simple, especially when they involve history, identity, and global attention. So, what do you think about King Charles's investigation of Meghan? Share your thoughts with us in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.